Penn Jillette is the outspoken larger half of the world-famous magic act Penn and Teller. He's also the author of God No, Signs You May Already Be an Atheist, and Other Magical Tales. And Penn Jillette joins me now. So here's my thing about you. See, I read the little intro you wrote here.
Yeah.
You may already be an atheist. If God, however you perceive him or it, you say, told you to kill your child, would you do it? If you answer no, in my booklet, you're an atheist. There is doubt in your mind. Love and morality are more important to you than your faith. If your answer is yes, please reconsider. You are the chief atheist out there. How did you get here? How did we get here?
Well, let me ask you, how did we get here?
I believe in this superior being, a God.
Of course.
And therefore the questions which always baffle atheists, the hard reality of life, I believe there is something greater out there. There's a greater entity, which is a spiritual being,
but what is
that allows comprehension on a scale we could never understand.
If it's a comprehension,
but if you don't believe in that superior being, what do you think happened?
If it's comprehension on a scale that we can't possibly understand, aren't you done? Why do you need to label that as something that's God or something?
Because I've never heard an atheist explain to me...
Why isn't there a humility to saying, I don't know?
Because I never hear an atheist give me any answers to how did we get here and what happens at the end of our lives.
But the answer to something, saying we can't understand it, is not an answer.
Right, so how do you think we got here?
I don't know.
What do you think happens when you die?
Well, nothing. I think there's
Where do you go?
There's no evidence at all. Where do you go?
Where do you go?
I mean, I think
when you die, you must be terrified of death. That's it,
not at all. Not even slightly.
But what do you think happens to you?
How scared are you of 1890? Does 1890 terrify you?
1890?
1890, yeah.
What are you on about?
You weren't alive. You weren't alive then, right?
No.
You weren't alive. You didn't exist in any way.
No.
Is that a horror to you?
No.
So why is 2090 any worse than that?
I'm not horrified by any thought of dying, because I believe that you go on to a celestial place, which is wonderful.
And
but for you,
atheists, where's your evidence of the celestial place?
Well, because I come back to the issue of creation.
Right.
Where do atheists...
All you have answered with the issue of creation is you've answered your answer to... my answer is I don't know, and your answer is something beyond comprehension.
You cannot write a book.
Aren't those the same answer?
You cannot... Your belief is a non-belief. It's an anti-belief. You don't have a belief. You just don't believe that what I believe is right.
Let me just ask you, do you believe in Thor?
Thor?
Yeah, Thor.
No, because that's not the type of God that I believe in.
Okay, but you are an atheist on every single God except the one you happened to be taught when you were a child. On everything else, you're an atheist. Everything you believe is a negation of every other God that's ever existed.
I don't think you can compare Thor to God.